What if your obedience is all God needs to shift the situation? Let's walk with my homeboy Elijah to 1 Kings 18. All right, so boom, Elijah is basically on the FBI's most wanted list. Ahab and Jezebel begin searching high and low, hunting him down because Jezebel is out here killing off God's prophets, left and right for real. In verse 4, it gets so bad that Obadiah had to set up basically an underground railroad for believers, hiding hundreds of prophets in caves, 50 in each, sneaking them food and water just so they could survive. But in the middle of all that chaos, God taps our homeboy Elijah on the shoulder. In verse 1, it says, "Go show yourself to Ahab." Now, friend, obedience right there could have been a life or death situation, yet Elijah moves. Elijah pulls up in verse 19 and 20 and tells Ahab, "Gather everybody and let's settle this." Now imagine this one moment, one man of God against hundreds of prophets of Baal, with a nation watching. Now Jezebel's squad, they got the numbers, the influence, the likes, the comments, the power, and my homeboy Elijah, he just got the word and some boldness. In verse 23 and 24, he lays it out. "We'll both prepare a bull, no fire. Call on your God, I'll call on mine. Whoever answers by fire, he's God." Simple. So Baal's prophets go first, and boy did they put on a show. Hours of shouting, cutting themselves, crying, and nothing. Elijah even gets a little petty and says, "Maybe your God is on vacation. Maybe he's asleep." Still, there was no fire. Then Elijah steps forward. First, he rebuilds the altar of the Lord in verse 30, because sometimes obedience means fixing what's been broken. He drenches it in water 3 times, making it humanly impossible for it to light. And then he prays one simple prayer: "Answer me, Lord. Answer me so these people will know that you, Lord, are God." And boom, immediately, fire falls. It consumes everything: the bull, the wood, the stones, the soil, and even the water in the trench. In verse 39, the people drop to their knees crying, "Lord, he is God. The Lord, he is God." That one act of obedience shifts the trajectory for an entire nation. The Underground Railroad of believers, they don't have to be underground anymore. The Jezebel's agenda is publicly exposed, and it all started with Elijah saying yes, but it didn't make sense. So friend, this was for us. If your obedience is the match God wants to strike in the middle of somebody else's drought, then let him. What if you're the Elijah for your family, your church, your school, your job, your generation? Baby, all it takes is one yes, one bold step, one moment of standing 10 toes down when it feels impossible, because when obedience meets the power of God, the fire will fall down.